Hello and welcome to Life is Feudal, Forest Village. Oh boy, have we got problems. The food stocks are seriously plummeting. I mean, we're into the early spring, so it should start picking up, but I mean, when you think, I was pushing caps up to like 120,000 because we were generating that much food, and now we're down to less than 27,000. I mean, that's a really big problem. I mean, I can see there's somebody out there who's starving to death, which doesn't help. I don't think I can find them, but yeah, I think they'll run into problems. I mean, yeah, I really need to try and find a way to fix that, but I'm really keen to get pressing on with Village 2 as well. I really got interrupted by that blooming rabies breakout. I mean, that's now been sorted out, but I think I'm going to have to start going back to basics. I'm going to have to really cut back. I mean, what I've been doing is I've been putting people into the fishing lodges, so these are now permanently occupied, and I've got an extra 2 people in the fish farms, so we're not doing too bad for fish and meat. Vegetables has been dropping quite a bit. Fruit, we're doing okay for fruit. I mean, we've still got an orchard paused off, but we really need to start fixing this this food problem. So one of the things I want to do, so as we get back to basics, as I say, is I'm going to actually build a carpenter's shop. I mean, that's something I started off with because they produce tools. They'll produce the sort of like the basic tools over there, well, primitive tools, because there's quite a lot of people in the industry just to produce these high quality tools. So I figure if I start cutting back on that, we'll take away the blacksmith, I'll take away about 2 of the kilners, take away our smelters. That'll give me a few more people, and then it's a case of we'll still get tools, we'll still get the production going, and hopefully we can start getting back on track. Now, I definitely want another farm. That's something I really need. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to put a scarecrow down here and see if we can fit a farm in over here. So yeah, put that there. So it's about 24. Oh, that's convenient. It's just the right size as well. Oh, 17 by 24. Right, so we'll get them to build that, and then I'll start allocating as more people. I mean, there's plenty of people coming through the system. I mean, if you look, we've got like 264 people in total out of a potential 279. So we should at some point start getting plenty of people who can then actually start getting us more vegetables. But now, as for Village 2, I got so far with the terraforming, and I've actually got an order in over here to actually push this out further. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel that. I want them to stop that, so they'll go out and gather these resources, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally just go back to the basics. I want vegetables in here, I want meat in here, and I want fruit. I mean, we're not doing so bad for fruit now because I'm transporting it. I mean, that's that barn there. I'm transporting fruit across from Village 1, but we just don't have the vegetables or the meat as far as I'm concerned. So I want to introduce some farms and some pastures over on this side. Obviously I'll need the people. I mean, I'm going to set up temporary houses over here, but first thing I need to do is get that terraforming work stopped, because I'm going to lose a lot more people if I don't if I just keep bringing people over here. So I'm going to get that cancelled, see if there's enough room, and if there is, well, then we're going to start working over here. So I'll get that sorted out and then I'll bring you back. Well, we managed to get the terraforming instruction cancelled. Basically, a lot of people came out and just gathered all the resources, so there's quite a bit of iron and wood got dumped into here. But that's now gone, and it's allowed me to start building things. So what I've done is I've run a road down here. I ran a one down there to kind of like hug the wall, and I've put some foundations in for the wall itself. Now I've paused all these off. I don't want them built yet. I'm just putting them in as a sort of like a frame of reference, because one of the problems that I do want to avoid is that if I suddenly decide I need a castle gate, I want to be able to pop that in and the problem is these are just slightly wider than the wall itself. So it's a case of I don't want to be suddenly putting one of these in and find myself having to backpedal and destroy a lot of walls. So I'm just going to literally build these as I go and as I need them, but I'd rather have that reference point. Now, just so I can get a foothold, I want to get a farm built. So what I've done is I took a scarecrow, because I want a scarecrow either side of the farm. Put one of these down, built the farm, put another one on the other side so then I could work out where the road went. And I've now taken those scarecrows out because I don't know where the entry exit points are going to be on the side. So once the farm's built, I'll know that. Then I'll put the orders in to build the scarecrows as well. Now, I've also put in a foundation to build a hostel. The reason I've gone for one of those is because it says, if you look on the instructions down below, it says extremely low pregnancy chance. It also houses up to 18 people. Now, the way I'm thinking is that I want people who are living here to be people who are working here. Any other house that you've got, if a baby's born, somebody's got to leave that house. And I don't want to be in a situation where I've got people working here suddenly getting kicked out and end up living over here, for instance. That would be just an absolute nightmare if somebody lives in Village 1 but actually works in Village 2. So I've gone for that just because basically, you know, because it's got an extremely low pregnancy chance. Doesn't mean it won't happen, it just means it's less likely. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, we could end up in a situation of teenagers and children living here. That's still a possibility. But as long as you've got like a big gap between the population and the amount of housing, I think that's less likely. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to play it out and see. So that's ready to get built, or at least I've put the foundation in. But I've paused it off because what I can do is I can unpause two little huts down here, and then I can pause off enough housing over there. Or rather, what I can do is I can reduce the number of people living in a house over in Village 1. That way they will come over and live in here, and then I can get them to become farmers and start working the land here. Now, obviously these people are going to need water, so what I'm thinking of doing is I want to be able to build a castle barn, but it's just kind of clipping that edge there, so I'm going to have to get some more terraforming done over here. And once that's done, we'll get an order put in. Then just to the left of that barn, I'm going to put a well. And then to the left of that I'll put another barn, but it'll be facing in the opposite direction. Because what I'm thinking is I'll have a farm over here, then we'll have our storage, I'll have another farm over here. So I mean, I'm pretty sure like a single barn can handle, you know, a farm, but I'd rather have too much storage than not enough. So I'm definitely going to put 2 barns down just to play it safe. But the way this is going to work out is we're going to end up with four farms. Each of them will have 4 people, so that's 16 people in total. So it's just a case of capping the amount of people that can live here from 18 to 16, and saves me having to upgrade it. But we'll end up with at some point a total of 4 farms, but it's going to take a lot of terraforming again, and yeah, that's going to take a while. So for now I just want to get that initial foothold in this area, so I can get away with this barn here. There's plenty of fruit, there's just not enough vegetables. Then once we've tackled, you know, the vegetable situation, then what I can do is start looking to expand out and start putting in pastures. Then we can get the meat in here as well. I mean, it might well be I might end up, because of the spaces, you know, the lack of space and the fact I'm heading towards the sea here, I might change this slightly. I might put two farms here and then 2 pastures over here. That's a possibility. The only drawback is as soon as I start introducing animals, livestock, I've got to then start introducing extra farms, because I need hay for some of them need hay, some of them need oats. So it's at this stage I'm just going to stick to the vegetables for now, but still quite a bit of work to do there. Now I've also put an instruction over here to build another carpenter's shop, so we're just waiting for the one over in Village 1 to get built, and then we'll start freeing people up. But by building a carpenter's shop over here, it should mean that the people over here become a lot more self-sufficient. I do get them to ship clothes from Village 1 over here, but we don't have that many clothes because obviously, you know, the population's quite low in compared to the number of like homes that we've got. So there's a lot of people coming through the system are going to start taking clothes, so we're not keeping up with the demand at this stage, but I mean, we're getting there. So I'm going to get all this lot sorted out and then I'll bring you back. Well, it's spring now, so all our farms are ready. I just need to pause off these fishing places here. But what I've been doing is I've been cutting back on some of the actual workers because we're producing a lot of firewood, more than we need, so we're hitting the cap. So what I've been doing is I've been going around some of the sawmills and reducing the number of people in that industry. There's still 2 more I need to disable. Alright, so we're down to 12. So all the farmers are back in their fields. Right, that's that done. So yeah, so I've been cutting back on the number of lumberjacks because we just don't need that much firewood. You go to like barns like say this one over here, you can see there's like nearly 2,000 firewood in this barn, way more than we need, so we're bumping up against the cap, which I've set at 15,000. So rather than just waste people, I'm trying to cut down the actual people in jobs just to try to make things more efficient. I've taken all the people out of this industry, you know, for making the the high quality tools. We've now got 3 people doing just the basic or primitive tools. So there's 2 people over here, and I've got 1 person over there. The farms are now running, so we're doing potatoes over there, potatoes over there. We should have some of the farmers will be living over here now, so that's good. Let's see. So I've managed to put some people back into the mining industry, but we're still seriously short for the forestry industry, so that's something I need to get sorted at some point. Now, one thing I did run into was a problem of a lot of sheep starved to death, a lot of cows starved to death because we ran out of hay and we ran out of oats. So I quickly bought a lot of that over the you know, through the market. Bought a load of oats, bought a load of hay, so yeah, that's causing me problems, so I've had to address that. So what I've done is I've built a little farm out here, a little field out here. They're going to be making hay. I've got this farm here up and running now. It was originally going to be for oats, but I've swapped it over to vegetables, so that one there can start producing oats. So that one there and that one there, hopefully that should resolve our issue. I mean, I wasn't paying much attention to the oats, so that caught me completely by surprise. I was looking at it earlier and I thought we were doing okay, but obviously not. The hay said we had 670 hay, but all that hay has been sitting in this barn here. So that's why basically there was nobody getting it over there. So yeah, so hopefully that's fixed. But then I started to get a lot of people over here who were dying hypothermia, and it's just because of the AI in the system. The people aren't clever enough to get firewood. For some reason they're just obsessed with charcoal, so none of them had the common sense to just go in this barn, take some firewood and put it in the little houses here. They just froze to death instead. There doesn't seem to be anything in the script that they follow to say, you know, if you can't get to any charcoal, use firewood instead. They're just not clever enough. So that had an impact on this area as well, because I think I've got them sharing some of the resources for that, because basically anybody over here would come over here to get charcoal then. So yeah, so it's a pain in the neck, and it's because I've got all of these little huts, and I built those specifically because I don't want the population over here getting to a situation where there's babies being born here, people getting kicked out of their job and being forced to live over here. The downside is it means every individual little house needs heating. So I've got like 4 little huts over there as well, and it's the same with the food as well. So what I've done is I've put in destruction orders here for the little huts I was going to build here. This one here, it needs to be, they need to take the resources away first. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a shack over here. I'm going to upgrade it to support 4 people. then we'll destroy these 4 houses and force those people over here. I'll then build a shack over here, upgrade that to 4, because there's 2 people, there's 2 gatherers and there's 2 hunters over here, so I need 4 people in the little shacks. They only support 3. That's a small house, so a shack will support 3. So then once I've got that area done, I'll get these people over here to move over to this shack. I'll get rid of that, got all these little houses, so then all the people will live here. But at some point I need to start bringing resources over to here. I might actually open that up because it's spring, and then what I can do is I can just basically start piling everybody into here. But yeah, it's something I didn't anticipate that. Every individual house is storing its own resources, and that's just not efficient at all, especially when you don't have enough resources in the first place. So I'm going to get on with that, and once I'm ready I'll bring you back. Right then, so we're starting to make a bit of progress now. I managed to get two shacks over here, and they've both been upgraded to support 4 people. The reason I did 2 was because there was actually 4 of the little huts down here, so that was, I needed enough capacity for 8 people. And what I've then done is I've added another shack in here, so that's got all of the, well, both of the hunters, both of the gatherers are living here now, so that's good. Because that hostel's now ready, I've set aside enough room for 10 people. 1 from a caravan, 4 from the farming field there, so that's 5 people. I'll leave a bit of wiggle room for some labourers and a builder, for instance. Now over here we've got 1 person working in the carpenter's shop, 1 person working in the sawmill. I want to leave a bit of room for the healer's shop. So what I'm actually doing, I mean, I've got, at the moment there's 264 people in the population, but we've got a massive capacity. So what I want to do is I want to take advantage of that to basically only get enough people that I need. So I'm going to drop that down to 3. I'm going to pause that off. I'm actually going to destroy those little buildings down there and force people to move. I'll just keep an eye on them. So this should make things a lot more efficient, where we've only got people over here that should be over here. Let's keep an eye on that one as well. So we should have enough capacity, and it'll just basically, it's to stop the population getting out of hand, because I've got to really keep an eye on the food levels, because we just can't sustain the population. Now what I've also done is I've actually pulled everybody out of the Kilner's jobs. So that gives us quite a large labour force, because it's too much hassle having these people basically just freezing to death in the winter because they're going after charcoal instead of firewood. So I'm basically, I want to see if I can actually force them to use firewood. It could go horribly wrong. It might turn out that it's a case of, oops, no charcoal, well, I'm not going to get any. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, we're going to find out. But the good news is, anyway, it means we've now got a foothold over here. I've built a little ramp here because the people living over here in the fishing lodge, it was taking them ages to come around here. I've managed to get the topology over here done, so we can start putting our little barns in. So I want that one there. I'm going to put a road in up the side of the barn. We'll run that up to there. Then we put a water well in. I mean, I've actually put a little well around there. I mean, it's more for the actual house than the farm, but the plan really was to have a water well up here for these people. We'll put another road. Actually, I think I'll put a. Let's put a light in. I'll put that in there. Don't really need it, but what the heck. We'll add another road in here. And then I'll add another barn in. Now this barn is going to be for the farm at the other side, so I'm going to flip that one around. But I don't think I'll make it heap of the difference, but you know, you never know. Right, I'll get the road there and we'll run that road. Run the road along in this direction. Ah, that's interesting. Why are you not doing that? Okay, I think it's just being fussy. Fair enough. I mean, it'll probably get trashed through terraforming anyway later down the line, but why are you not putting the road down? That's just bizarre, that. Right, so that gives us our road, and then we'll do the same on that side, just for consistency. So that gives us our barns. I'm going to pause that one off. They'll go off and build that. I mean, I've got my scarecrows either side, but the plan is what we've got on this side will then replicate on that side. So we'd get a farm on here, then we'd start building some more barns over here, then we'll get the more farms on that side, but it's going to need a lot of terraforming to do it. So we'll put that one there, put a little light over there. There you go. Yeah, that looks quite good. I'll extend the walls out. I'll keep the walls going just as a reminder. So that needs facing in that direction. I'll pause them off as well. I don't want them built. Right, so we're not doing too bad as far as oats are concerned. I mean, I've got to wait for the harvest to see how we're doing. Hay seems to be a little better, but I'm going to have to really keep an eye on that. So let's see, 276 versus 264. So yeah, in theory we should be okay, but I'm just not sure. Right, let's see how this goes. So I'll ring you back once I find out. Well, we managed to get through the winter, just about. I mean, all of the charcoal's now gone, which I think is actually probably for the better. One thing I noticed was these people over here, they were pretty quick to switch over to go out and get firewood all on their own, no problem. But I did have a lot of issues with the people who were living here. There was quite a few times where the little warning sign would pop up saying that the house was getting cold. So what I was doing is I was taking control of somebody, going to the barn, picking up firewood, and then taking it to the house myself. And I was just keeping a constant eagle eye on this place just to make sure that I wasn't losing too many people. But yeah, we did lose quite a lot. So that's I think that's probably now resolved because all the charcoal's gone. I mean, I'm not sure why, but we were actually, just as we were going into the winter, nearly all of the charcoal was in this barn here. So I got the caravan of hay to bring it out to this barn, so it got dispersed a lot quicker and it went away a lot quicker. So hopefully we've now got these people only looking for firewood during the winter time. I mean, I suspect because the people over in village 2 didn't have an issue, or at least they didn't appear to. I suspect what happens is that the people have got a certain distance limitation. If something's beyond a certain distance from them, then they won't bother looking for it. So because there was charcoal somewhere within their area, I think that's why these people weren't going and getting any firewood. So hopefully we've fixed that now. But there is a problem specifically to do with clothing. We've practically run out of clothing. I mean, we've got plenty of hide, a reasonable amount of flax and wool. So I just assumed, well, maybe it's a case of they just can't cope with the demand. They just can't produce things quick enough, because you can see they've got the resources, but it takes 2.3 minutes to produce, one bit of clothing. So I thought, maybe it's that. I mean, they can also make normal clothing, but it doesn't make any difference in terms the time. I mean, they use slightly less hide, but makes no difference in time-wise. So I'm just going to stick on making warm clothing for now. But I was having a look around, and I think the problem is they're having to go too far to get resources. So There's hardly any hide there. There's none there. There's none there. None there. So I was having a look around, and you can see there's about 2,300 hide in this barn here. So I've now got a caravan's going to take the hide from there and bring it up to here. Then this one here is going to then bring it from here to here. And then this one here is going to take it from here all the way over to here. So hopefully that should give them more hide, and then they'll start producing more clothing. There's also some hide getting dumped here. So just having a look. I'm going to get them to take their hide from there. You can bring it down to here for these people. Is there any here? Nope, got none there. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I've already got somebody who takes the hide from here. I'm just having a look around because there's quite a bit of hide here. So I've just added that instruction in there because before that didn't exist a while back. There was a barn here and there was a barn around here somewhere, I think. There's another barn somewhere where this caravan was taking hides from. Let's see, see, we're getting the bird from the barn up there. Right, okay. So this is looks like cover for all the hunters that are dotted around. So definitely dropping, you know, the hide supply is dropping off, that's for certain. But hopefully anyway, now that we've got that kind of like that balance where we've got the resources coming closer to the actual tailors, hopefully that should resolve their problem. Now wool, let's see, so the sheep are over here. So where do you take your wool? Do you bring any up here? Nope. There's only a slight amount of wool there, so out of 827, yeah, most of the wool's over here anyway, so that's okay, I'm not too fussed about that. Flax, I mean, we've got 2 flax farms down here, so out of 402, 320. I don't know how we've ended up. It's bizarre that. Seriously, I don't know how we ended up with flax in here. I don't remember at any point asking somebody to take flax across to here because I've got absolutely no need for it whatsoever. So we may as well bring it across. You bring it from here to here. You can bring it from here. Just pop it in there. I'll get rid of the roots once it's cleared. But yeah, so it's a combination really. You know, getting away from charcoal and onto the firewoods took a hit. Lack of clothing's obviously been a big hit as well. Food-wise, I think we seem to be doing a lot better now. I'm quite pleased with the amount of food that we've got now. Fish, we still need to be working on our fish, but I need a lot more people in the population to pull that off. I mean, because of the amount of people that were dying off, I've already had to cut back on like the number of bakers, for instance. So it's going to take a while for this to catch up anyway. But as far as Village 2 goes, where we're at now is I ended up deconstructing these 2 barns and redoing them. I've got them facing, you know, in this sort of direction, because then it doesn't make any difference, you know, whether you're coming from up here, coming down that direction. It's the same distance to travel. So yeah, I think that looks a bit better having them facing that direction. But it's going to take me a lot of time to do terraforming in this direction. I'm going to leave this side untouched for now, but the aim would be to mirror what's on here over to here. I mean, I suppose I could extend it out along there. It wouldn't take too much to be able to fit another farm in there, actually, now that I think about it. 25 by 17. That's what I'm doing now. Instead of 25 by instead of 24 by 17, it's 25 by 17. It's exactly the limit. No matter which way I go, Doesn't matter whether I go to 26 by 17, it's 5 people. 25 by 18 needs 5 people, so we're right on the edge for needing 4 people. So I don't need that much of an extension, you know, on that little cliff face there. So I suppose I could do with a terraforming in there to finish that off, and then that'll help us get all 4 of these fields done. Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at the house there and I'm thinking, I wonder if I should have pushed it a bit further north and had the barn there, but then I wouldn't have had 2 barns, so it doesn't matter, because the house has got to serve all 4 of these fields, like, so I'll just leave it as it is. It seems okay. But yeah, so this whole area here, it's pretty desolate now. There's not a lot going on over here. There's nobody in the kilners anymore. So I think we should be able to just keep progressing with Village 2, but yeah, we'll have to see if I can survive the next winter. And that's something to pick up in the next video. So I do hope you've enjoyed watching this one. If so, then do please leave a like. Hopefully that'll encourage more people to come see the channel. If you're new to the channel yourself and you'd like to see more content like this, then yeah, do please subscribe. Just remember to click the little bell icon though, because then you get notifications for when I send new content out. And if you've got any comments, any suggestions, want to leave any feedback at all, please post that in the comment section below. But until the next episode, thanks very much for watching. Bye!